Hello, I'm Chris Williams, and I'm here with another review. This time we're unfortunately reviewing The Unstoppable Wasp, issue 6. And we'll start off with the cover. The cover was by Stacey Lee, and it is just... It's enough. It's bad. It's nothing. It shows the main characters on a train about to go somewhere, or are they on a party? I'm not quite sure. I don't really care. It shows Wasp running inside the train just as it's about to leave. I don't really care. What does this say about the comic? This doesn't take place in the comic at all. It just has... It's just pinup art. This is basically art you'd see in your art portfolio. This has nothing to do with this issue at all. None of the characters appear on a train. Now, usually when I see the part where they list all the people who worked on this comic book, I give you the spiel, how it's wrong. Of course it's wrong, but I'm just going to use this time to go over about how the writer Jeremy Whitley doesn't know how to write characters. He's probably a good writer for young adult novels, but this writing, what I've seen in this issue, was just, it was so painful. Here we see Nadia Van Dyne, aka the Unstoppable Wasp, with her talking to her friend Alexis Miranda. Oh, that's an annoying name. As you can see, all the characters are done in sort of a pseudo-anime manga style. And I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm watching the latest season of FLCL, Fully Cooley. Because Nadia basically comes off as the main character of the third series. And here we are with another friend, the one who's a cripple, Tina Miranda, going on about how she thinks Nadia looks down upon her. And I gotta tell you, it's bad. This is all bad. All this girly stuff. This isn't a comic book. This is going to be 25, 30 pages of boredom for you. I don't know. I remember how many pages were actually in this comic book, but it was somewhere like 25 or so. And it was just painful. And we have Miranda talking to Tiana, I don't really remember her name at all anymore, and how she probably should forgive Nadia. I remember Nadia's name, of course. I don't really care about these characters, and they are just so painful to read. This whole book is painful, and I'm glad this is the first issue I've read of it, because I don't think I would have been able to stand any of the others. And here we have Nadia and Janet Van Dyne, the original Wasp, at a therapist, and how they're going to talk about Nadia's mental problems. Listen, I'm not going to even name what her condition is. It has something. The therapist says she should have realistic expectations about this. And later on, she makes up with her friend Tiana. I'm not sure if that's her name. And she says that it's a good thing she has a mental condition, because this is what I get from their conversation, because it makes her like her now, and that no matter what she does, that she'll have to live with this throughout her whole life. That's what I got from their conversation that I see here, and it's rather comes off to me rather scary, because you can only live with your sickness. Okay, and then their friend Miranda comes in and talks to Nadia, and Nadia has a surprise for Tiana. She gives it to her right here, but as you see, they have a little more conversation, stuff like that. But then Nadia does give her present to Tiana. She gives Tiana wasp wings so that she can fly around. Well, that's good for the crippled girl. Now she can fly, and I hope this review will end very soon. And here we actually see her flying, saying, "Eat it, gravity! Why don't you eat a rock?" These characters are just so arrogant and up their own behinds that it's unbelievable. It's like they don't care any more about real life. And the dialogue in this book, made by Jeremy Whitley, is just one long dialogue after another when they're really talking to each other. People don't talk like this. You see the dialogue here as Janet talks to to a person who was in a red room. Basically, the red room is what the Russians used to train the Black Widow into an assassin. And this assassin is now in a lesbian relationship with another of Nadia's friends. And here we are where Nadia goes to see another one of her friends who has apparently developed superpowers. And how she said she didn't want to develop superpowers if she hanged out with Nadia and her friends. Well, you get to see it in a moment here. And this, how she goes on about, oh, woe is me. I can understand her motivation like that, but she got powers now. I feel so sorry for you. But this is all painful. The dialogue is unrealistic, and it just goes into one long word bubble where it's just text over and over again. People don't talk like this. And her room is completely covered with plants because she has plants powers. I didn't mention it earlier because you could probably much see that she was covered with bits of plants. So yeah, she has plant powers now. She's basically Swamp Thing. I don't really care. If she was Swamp Thing, this would be more decent to read. This is just stupid. She has plant powers. Oh, it's so girly. This is like coming out from that character from that series Witch. Oh yeah. Now back to the two girls are on a date now. They wanted to go on a date so the one girl who's African can talk to her, well, black. She's just black. She can talk to her movie star black mother that she's a lesbian and she wants to come out to her and tell her about her relationship with this girl. I should remember their names, but I don't care about these people at all. And this is just something you'd see on a Lifetime movie special. Actually, Lifetime is boring too. This is just bad. This is the A plot, B plot, and C plot of this comic book is all the same boring stuff. I don't want to cuss here because that's all I can say here. Oh, and we're back to Nadia talking to her friend. How because her other friend Tiana upset her. The girl's plant powers activated, and she hanged her up from the ceiling. And the girl who's crippled here goes on telling about stupid jokes how the girl had now plant power and calling her Swamp Thing or Man Thing or let's call her Girl Thing. That's what she says, Girl Thing. How about Swamp Thing, or how about if I put my foot up your butt thing? And this conversation ends where she says to Nadia she didn't want to be friends with her because she thought she'd end up like this. And we switch back to where Nadia goes back to her session with the therapist. This could have all been part of one issue where they keeps flipping back from where Nadia is talking to the therapist with Janet by her side to where the date and what's happening, the crisis with her friend developing superpowers. So this issue is kind of disjointed. This all takes place in one session, and it's just bad, and it's disjointed, and I'm really not enjoying this. The mother of the girl who just came out to her just told her daughter that she should have made sure her daughter wore dresses and played with girly things, and this upsets the girl and she runs off crying, while the assassin tells off her mother, frightening the woman that she will hurt her badly if she hurts her daughter again like that. And I have to say, oh, I'm so scared of the assassin with fire in her eyes. Oh, this is great artwork. No, it is not. This artwork by Marathi Famesa is just bad. It's just boring, bland art that you'd get from Tumblr. And I ended this comic book with a picture from Animaniacs with showing Hello Nurse on the cover and her secret agent persona that they had episodes of in the comic book. It didn't happen in the animated series, but I thought I'd end this review with a picture of something actually good with a good female character. I mean, Hello Nurse didn't really say all that much, and she basically came off as the stupid blonde. But she has more character and more development than any of these other characters in this entire issue. In fact, in this entire series of the Wasp. Nadia Van Dyne is a horrible character. All these characters in this comic book are horrible. They are destroying this comic book. Because of how they act, no one will want to read it. This comic book will soon probably be canceled again, like it was last year when they brought it back with another Wasp comic book. And this is my opinion of it. Avoid this. Now, if you like this review, leave a like, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. And I have other things to say. If you like my stuff, continue to keep watching me, because I plan to release a comic book someday that'll be far better than any of the comic books that Marvel is now doing right now. Except, well, yeah, all of the comics from Marvel are bad, and DC is going the same way. But I will tell you this much: I will make a good comic book, and you people will love it. Sorry to go on a rant like this, but this comic book just made me angry. That's all I have to really say. I'll be back again tomorrow with another review.